Yeah, that's right. Talking with T-Bird back again as the summer of T-Bird rolls on here today. Another good one, an icon today. We'll be catching up with Jessica, Sugar, Kiper, and let's bring in the woman who is the reason for the season, who brings us all together. It's the great Teresa T-Bird Cooper.
Hello, Rob. Yes, we do
Hi,
have
T-Bird.
on. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Very excited about our guest today.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we got together for Talking with T-Bird, even though it's been a busy summer of Talking with T-Bird. And we're going to catch up with Sugar. And this is very exciting. I believe this is going to be Sugar's RHAP debut here today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes it even better.
Very exciting that she was up for coming on and getting her here today. T-Bird, amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited about having her. So
this is a fun one.
Let's talk about Big Brother for just a minute.
Okay.
For just a moment. Very quickly.
Yes.
Because I'm watching it. I got pulled into it a couple years ago, and I say I'm not going to watch it, and then there it is. I'm watching it. So I've got to say, my favorite character, if you will.
Yeah.
Guess who it might be? Of all
I think Tucker is what you're going to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you know this?
Well, T-Bird, so we're recording this peek behind the curtain. Okay. These are not live Talking with T-Bird from when you're watching them. We're recording this. It is 2:40 p.m. Eastern on Thursday.
Right.
Buckle up, T-Bird. Okay. That's all I'm going to say for tonight.
Wait, for tonight, for Thursday night. Oh, God, Rob. And guess what I've got to do? I will be buckled up tonight because I'm flying out and I'm leaving to go to the airport after I get
All right, but you heard it here for T-Bird's Team Tucker.
Yeah, I'm Team Tucker. And you know why I think I like Tucker so much? And I liked him from the very start because I know I told you this on one of our previous Talking with T-Birds. He is a cross to me between Jim Carrey.
Yep.
And another guy that I have never met, but I love, Shane Powers.
The cross between Jim Carrey and Shane Powers. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, do you see that at all? Do you see that?
I can see it. I think there's that's a good call. There you go, T-Bird.
I have to tell you, Rob. So last night after it was over, I text Shane. Now Shane is very mysterious. Let me just for anybody that doesn't know this, I have him in my phone. I don't aggravate Shane because Shane's not the aggravating.
No,
person.
You shouldn't.
I never
Nobody
bother,
should.
I never text him. And if I ever have in the past for something, he might text me back, but he's busy and he probably doesn't want to be dealing with T-Bird. But I texted him last night and I said, by chance, are you watching Big Brother? Because at this point, I got to get this out. He's got to know how I'm feeling. And he did text me back and he said, yes, I am. And then, of course, I told him that I loved Tucker because he reminds me of you, Shane, and Jim Carrey. And Shane actually said he had heard that from quite a few people.
Oh.
So it's not just me. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Look at that, T-Bird.
So tonight, so we'll see what happens. So thank you for letting me throw that in there. And Kenny, should I stay or should I go now? I don't know, Kenny.
I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, T-Bird, this podcast is going to be very outdated when people listen to it potentially, but there you go.
I know.
All right. Okay. T-Bird, I just did want to mention that our Survivor family did have a loss since the last time we've gotten back together. I actually saw the news from you on social media that Kim Johnson, the runner-up from your season, Survivor Africa, passed away recently. Very sad to hear.
Mama Kim. Yeah, and we didn't stay in contact. I think I mentioned to you when we were on the season with these players, you can reach out to them anytime. I feel like I can. And there are some, of course, in an inner circle you stay more in touch with. I had not known that Mama Kim had been sick. Yeah. And so for me, Mama Kim was one of those vibrant, energetic women. And that's how I remembered her, of course, from our season. So Ethan is the one that let us know because he had stayed in contact. They were very close out there.
Yeah.
I tried my best to get Mama Kim to do a Girls Alliance. I always remember that. And she was too smart to know she was right where she needed to be.
Yeah, I don't think I ever encountered her, even, coming back through. But, she was also somebody that was had roots on Long Island. And but she didn't really stay involved in the Survivor Circle. She had her adventure, and, she didn't really, you didn't see her come to a lot of those Survivor events.
Right. I'm not sure that I saw her at, I don't want to say, I don't think I saw her at any of them, but she had applied for a launch for many, many times. She had, wait a minute, for many, many times. We were season 3. She couldn't have applied that many times, but I think she had applied maybe twice and wanted to do it. And, her and Ethan had such a really strong, very neat bond. So that they would have been, that they were the final 2. And I don't think Kim, like I said, I remember talking to Kim about, an all-girls alliance, that there's no way she's going to bust through Lex and Ethan and Big Tom, which she wouldn't have. But the game changes. So there she was, the final 2. So it was a beautiful story for her. And she was a special person.
Yeah, and I remember one of my favorite moments was she made quite an impression on Big Tom at one point with that SOS challenge.
Yes, she called Big Tom Tommy.
Yeah,
she always called Big Tom Tommy. Yes, she did. She was a very special lady with a family. She was a grandma and just lots of energy, and a very, very cool lady.
Yeah. All right. Well, R.I.P. Kim Johnson. All right, we've got a good one for you here today, and so let's go ahead. Let's bring in Sugar Kiper. Of course, you can watch these on our YouTube channel as well at robbinswebsite.com/YouTube. T-Bird, let's have you take it away.
Our guest today from Brooklyn, New York, appeared on the 17th season of Survivor Gabon at 29 years old, and then would be asked back for season 20, Heroes versus Villains. She was not a fan of the show and actually said, quote, "I was never a fan of reality TV," end quote. The casting team recruited her after seeing her on a pinup calendar for a dog charity, Pinups for Pups. She was going through a challenging time in her life. Her hero, her dad, passed away 7 months prior. She said, quote, "I wasn't thinking anything. I wasn't doing anything and had no reason to get out of bed. And I needed a crazy adventure I would never be able to go on or experience," end quote. She also said she did Survivor because she thought it might help her grow up a little bit, get thicker skin, and help her deal with her father's death. Casting sent her 6 seasons to binge watch, and although she said she didn't expect to go far, it became apparent that she understood the assignment. She ended up making it to day 39, spending 10 of those nights alone on Exile Island, and still holding the record for most exile visits, which she called her, quote, spa days. She said she couldn't have asked for a better experience out there after all she was going through at the time. She was able to find an idol. There was fruit in the sugar shack, and the hammock there, she believed, was a sign from her dad, since he had always had a hammock on his porch wherever he lived. She was in the final 3, made it to day 39 with no votes cast against her. Although she did not win, she was a fan favorite, leaving a big impression, and she would be asked back for Heroes versus Villains. As a hero, of course. She was voted out day 3. She said it was not a good experience and that the game was more emotionally and mentally taxing than physical. Playing the second time with friends made it difficult when she was betrayed by who she thought was not only a friend, but an ally, saying, quote, "They used unnecessary roughness," end quote. She was told by the psychologist once she left the game, quote, "You are now crazy. Don't change where you work, who you date, and where you live for the next year," end quote. And I did all those things, she said. She struggled, but was able to get through the dark days. Her life was full and her resume impressive before she played on Survivor. She started her acting career at age 19 in front of a live studio audience in 4 Year Love, which was a mix between theater and acting. She went on to appear in Law and Order LA, Judging Amy, Gilmore Girls as the character Jane, Angel Weeds, and has had her face voice, and body as a video game character, Candy Edwards in L.A. Noire. And her career still prospers. She is now in the miniseries Clipped, but it's her private life that she is most proud of. Married to the love of her life, Nicholas, since 2016, a photographer, because, quote, what's a photographer without their model, end quote.
Oh, that's cute, but that's for me.
And she has her own mini-me, Punky Jean, aka PJ. Her life is full. I introduced the small but mighty, spunky, bubbly girl who is passionate and emotional about politics, who stands up to bullies, who is not afraid to speak her mind, and a hero who was not afraid to flip off a villain. The beautiful, sassy Jessica Sugar Kiper.
Oh, that was such a sweet intro. So many wrong things.
Hey, Sugar, what did I get wrong, Sugar?
Yes, you
Correct
do a
me.
fact check for T-Bird.
God, I should have taken notes because it was very hard. Well, I was living in Brooklyn, New York when Survivor found me on the calendar. All that part is true, but that's not where I'm from. Actually, was born in Florida, raised in Louisiana, moved to San Francisco at 17 when I graduated, and then moved down to LA at 19.
Were you in Brooklyn ever?
Yeah, I lived there.
Okay.
After my father passed, when they found me for Survivor, I
Got
was,
it.
and my ex-husband at the time, we were already annulled, but his father actually died 3 days before, 3 days after my dad, and it was like check this out. My dad had 3.5 years of cancer, but he and didn't really take care of too much stuff that he should have because he just didn't want to die. And then my ex-husband Nala, he's a tattoo artist in New York. His dad used to ride every single day on his bike to the Opera House where he worked for 10 plus years, probably more. And one day somebody didn't look in the rearview mirror of the car, opened up the car door, tripped his bike into the street.
My God.
He was killed by a truck 3 days after my dad died. So I had moved up to New York to be with him. And that's when Survivor randomly found me. And he's actually why I did it because, well, the dog has a part of the story, but my ex-husband, Nala, we watched the tapes. They send you like 5 tapes, not that old, but 5 or 6 seasons they sent me DVDs, and China was definitely one. And like he was like, if you don't do this, you're nuts. And I was like, I'm already nuts. Like, what do you think I'm doing here? But also, like, we were both nuts at the time, and we were young and had just had huge losses. And this was like a weird random thing that happened. And I'd seen like maybe the first couple of episodes of the first season. And when I moved to LA, I saw the billboards for it and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, I thought really people died because I came from Louisiana. My mother was like the mother from Carrie, Mrs. White. So, like I actually thought I thought, oh, this is the end of the world. And then like 10 years later, weirdly, they like found me on a thing for a different show for some dog training. Like people live together and like America's best dog or America's favorite dog. It's so random. But and my dad had just passed, and so he said, if you don't do this, you're nuts. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do that. They seem like they want me. I don't understand how this happened to me, right? And it was such a growth experience. And like usually I say, careful what you wish for. I didn't even wish for that, but to people who are applying, I say, careful what you wish for. And probably most people are not ready for it, and they also think apparently that some of it's fake, and it's not. And you guys know.
Yeah.
I never thought that. I came from acting. I was already on Gilmore Girls and other shows beforehand. So I didn't actually think that. I thought like, this is just an experience. I'd already given up. I was like done acting. I was like, maybe that's not my thing, and I'd actually had, really good, like got to make out with Milo for the whole, episodes, all 4 episodes of Gilmore Girls in the 3rd season, in case you're wondering. but it was Shane. That was the name. I don't know what you called me.
Oh, for the video game?
No, the Gilmore Girls. I don't know what
Oh,
you called me.
I think I
But
called
I'm
you
saying,
Jane. Was it
yeah,
Jane?
I'm saying Shane. Shane.
Shane.
Yes.
Shane.
I didn't even know Milo Ventimiglia was on
Gilmore
Gilmore
Girls fans
Girls.
will be like, "Oh my God, how does she not know that?" Because they do know these.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the vibes were really good, right? Even if T-Bird got some facts wrong, like
Oh my God, the vibes were so good. Oh yeah. I wanted to be like, oh, and I think I did a couple times, but like I really couldn't keep up. You know how
you just let her cook,
on the
sugar.
internet is. Well, she looked it up on the internet, and that's not always accurate.
Not always accurate. Sugar, so you mentioned this, so I kind of want to jump into this just first, only because you said be careful what you wish for,
Mhm.
because these reality shows can be debilitating once they're over with. And I think you went through a lot after Heroes versus Villains.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about you a lot the last few weeks as I was trying to learn accurately about you. An actress, so you're used to rejection. You were used to all that.
Thanks.
From
No,
your
it actually
profession.
is a really incredibly hard business, and like
Right.
you are used to it. But I actually had so much luck in the beginning hand, so that I had never met someone. I had never met so many people, different people.
Yes, and I remember the same, when I was doing my season, the same thing, just being exposed to so many different people. But what would you suggest for people jumping into the reality world? Because like I said, you had been out there, even though you were only 29 when you played. You
Yeah,
had done so many other things.
baby.
You were a
Yeah.
baby, but you had done so many things in Hollywood
For
that
10
again,
years, Dad, but
a lot of things happened for you, and I'm sure just as many things didn't come through because that's the business. So
right. But
people
I've
right off,
been extremely lucky. So
right.
I
So
think I had a luck mentality in my brain still at 29. And recently something happened to, well, we'll get into that later, but like I think that at that time I was still kind of a go-getter, even though I was really sad, and I had said I need a break from Hollywood and moved to New York for a little bit. So I moved away from LA, and I was like, well, I can't do this in New York. This is a whole different scene anyways. And I was too sad to do anything. And then Survivor came, and it was like a weird, miraculous thing. um, I had no idea what I was. I had, they sent the DVD, so I had an idea of what it was like, and I knew it was real, or I was like prepared for it to be real. I had no hopes that it wasn't. I wanted that experience, and that's what I got. But also, like the people experience, that was crazy.
what was your casting week like? Did you notice some of the people that you were out there playing with? Did you have any connection or any
Um,
eye contact with anybody?
I was not like a reality person. In fact, I said no to them originally because had been an actor and was still feeling like I'm going to go back to it, but I don't want to be seen as a reality person. So that's originally why I said no. Most people would just say yes to an adventure, but I said no because of that. And then they convinced me with the DVDs, and that was Lynn Spillman. Thanks, Len. Like I love you, hate you. Just kidding. I mostly love her. I don't hate her at all. She laughed one time because I said that to everybody. Love you, hate you all. But I don't. I don't have hate for anybody. Not even the people I could have hate for.
And Sugar, I hope I got this right. In casting, they had asked you who you thought you would like out there,
Oh, right.
and you actually said,
Right. Well, in the beginning, CBS, this is so crazy. In the very early CBS interview, we were there in Africa, and they did it there before we were allowed to talk to each other. So we had a glimpse of each other, like at eating situations where we're just supposed to eat and like stare at each other and try and size each other up. And it's so crazy because it's documented. And I have it on my my main Instagram, one of my little tagged things. This is, I said Susie, and I didn't know her name, and Bob, I didn't know his name. I said the man with the gentleman with the bow tie, and he likes to draw in his little book, and and the Spanish woman who has kids and is wearing a t-shirt with the kids on it. I like her. I get a good vibe from both of those people. Now, I don't know if I'm psychic or if I'd already done it and got to do it again some weird metaphysical way. But for some reason, I named the other two people before we were all able to talk to each other. That ended up in the finale with me. I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Chicken or the egg? I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Am I okay?
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
looked at
Keep it rolling, sugar. Keep it rolling.
Are we good?
So, sugar. So you were in Africa, and it was only after Africa season 3. The only other time I guess they went back to Africa was your season. So I remember.
Oh.
No, did I mess that up, Rob?
No, you're right. That wasn't a no. That was like, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah. So,
sugar, I always
put
it together because then I'm like, I want to make sure I'm not in the first Africa.
So wasn't the wildlife and everything, the atmosphere and the environment just unbelievably amazing?
It was cool, and I wish I had guilted Bob into that gorilla expedition, but I actually at that time I wanted Crystal and Kenny to go on that thing because they had not done anything yet. And then eventually we all ended up at that weird tribal. This I would love to talk about. There was I'm not sure, it was like towards the end, it was like Maddie, and we were all in a group to get Maddie and what's that Henri mean guy? Okay, Corinne and Randy, and then oh my God, who was it? It's like there's 5 of us, and Bob,
Kenny,
and Charlie. Okay. Yeah, so we went on a thing, which was the coolest thing the entire time that we were out there, because it was the only time we actually got to, connect with nature. Really, the people that were there, not nature. We were in the nature, and they washed us and beat us with things. This was a and they gave us clothes to wear, which I love. I was like, yes, new clothes. It was before their spiritual, like, I don't know how many times a year they did it, but I think it was like once or twice maybe a year that they did this thing. You guys don't get to see a lot of this. This was the most intense, crazy. You get to see us watching the natives dance, eating with the natives. But I definitely know that they cut out the part where they had us drink, rice wine if we wanted. We, of course, we were mad, yeah, cheers. But they also gave us this powder that was like a drug that they would take. You just eat it.
Yeah.
They're like, lick it. You just licked it. This is a powder that we take, they didn't say this, but before their rituals, where the men and the sons, the fathers and the sons, go up to a hill. The women stay and pray the whole time. They take naps in between praying. They sing and dance and pray all night. And they have us set up in this like nice little cabana looking thing with like, like pretty little curtains and like beds and, I don't think any of them slept. I was like, I'm high, I gotta go to sleep. And right before I went to sleep, I was like, Maddie, because they were up all night singing and dancing. And you see some of them talking just like this much. I have no idea how much they worked on Maddie before that. But like they're all covered in red paint and they looked like the devils. They're like all covered in red paint. It was so. Do you know what I'm talking about, Rob?
You know what? It didn't ring a bell for me, but I looked it up on the wiki and I see that this was you, Corinne, Charlie, Randy, and Maddie went to go to the village.
Well, yes, but it was like a special night. It wasn't like something they did for us. Like we were allowed to go then, and I don't know how we were allowed to do that because that seems crazy. They must have paid them a lot of money, of course. And I wish I had stayed up and prayed and not slept and like taking little naps with the women. I wish I had done that actually. But instead, I got high, drank the rice wine.
It
I got
happens.
scared of everybody in their red faces, and I just prayed a lot before I went to sleep. And you know, I guess I could have done that with them. I did it in the little bed under the thing. I was worried. Like I was really worried they're gonna like seduce Maddie in the middle of the night. I don't get to see any of that. So
Sugar, your recollection is so good. Did you ever go back? I know with Gabon, did you ever go back and rewatch that whole season?
I did, but it took years before I watched that season or the next Tocantins or even my other
Mhm.
season. And then I watched them all. My husband was probably worried about me. All right, it's a
You
little,
watched all the Survivor seasons, or you watched all
yeah, no, I went back and I watched everything because
Wow.
we see everybody at places, and I don't want to be completely like, oh my god, I have no idea who you are, but
Yeah.
like I try and keep up, Rob. It's I only do this because happenstance, and this is
Yeah.
our life now. It's not it's not something I would normally have kept up with.
What made you go back and watch the first time?
Healing, I think.
Your seasons. You're watching,
Yeah.
rewatching your
But then
season
even other people's seasons.
for healing.
And then I was like, okay, I'm sure, and I get messages from people who are, our people that
Mhm.
come out and stuff, and or they've read an article or whatever, and they'll call me or get a message. I get messages a lot, nice messages from fans, like sweet messages, like people just discovering and going through it and everything. So I am not without love at all, but like some of
Yeah.
our plan will sometimes contact me and be like, hey, this shit happened to me, let me tell you. And so it's not just me.
Yeah. Is it weird for you because you went through this experience and it happened in the real time, and then and then it was over, but then at some point it started where then lots of new people started watching it for the first time. And so for so many people, they've just experienced your season like recently.
Yeah, from the pandemic on, it's been like a really beautiful thing. For me, it's really nice because I'm like getting um and I always really do want to help people. And one day, hopefully I get to do that. Maybe I already did, maybe that's it, but I would like to help people more. But I think that that was an accidental kind of beautiful
Mhm.
accident.
Have you watched since, Sugar? Are you still watching the
Oh no,
seasons
I keep
now?
up. Yeah, I have to.
You
I
do?
have
Do.
to because I go to the parties and
Yes.
I
What do
don't.
you think of the new stuff?
Um, I mean, I feel like blessed, I guess, to be old school
Mhm.
because I
Oh
watch
no.
What
really
happened? Oh, T-Bird.
Yeah,
what happened.
She agrees with you.
I really agree.
Are you the bell? Were you the bell before you were T-Bird on the
No,
pod?
this bell came from Rob, but go ahead. I don't want to take you off.
All right, I don't know who the bell is.
We both have one. It's
Yes.
confusing.
Yeah, it is
I
confusing.
I feel like I should go run and get my bell. Can I?
If you want to.
Okay, think of really good questions.
Okay.
Be
I
right
think
back.
Rob
All right.
regrets.
T-Bird,
I
what
think
should
Rob-
what should we ask Sugar next? Should we take a
Oh.
break and then we'll come back with Sugar?
take a break?
Okay, sure.
No, was that what you want to do? Take a break?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
No, seriously?
We're back with
Okay,
Sugar.
I'll be
Oh,
here
wait,
with
no.
my bell.
Okay. Yes. What does
Oh,
your
yours
bell
is a
look
cute-
like?
Yours is a cute bell. Little smiley. Okay,
There you
where
go.
are we going? I wanted her to hear what she
No,
had to
well,
say
we
about
wanted to hear what Sugar has to say about the new era.
new school. I mean, the new era. New era.
Okay. Well, I like many of the people,
Sure.
and I'm making friends with many of them. I just think I don't know what do they get clean water? They don't have to boil their
I think they
water.
get clean water. Yeah.
It's just pissing me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I had parasites. Because I came back with intestinal parasites, and I guess I got rid of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I took medications. Yeah.
And the
So
number of days, 26 days compared to
13,
39.
9.
Yeah.
where you have missed,
And
you
you were-
like hit the,
You practically did 26 days
right,
at Exile Island.
Yeah. Sugar, was Survivor helpful to you? Because I know when you came off of Heroes versus Villains, you had a challenging time. Were they good? I mean, I remember my experience. They were wonderful checking in, and I kept thinking, I don't know why you're checking in with me. I'm fine, and not realize until I got 6 months, 9 months out. Oh yeah, I really wasn't as fine as I thought I was. Were they good with you with everything you went through, especially after Heroes versus Villains?
Which season were you?
Africa, the
The
third
first one? Oh, the third
one.
one.
The third one.
And
Africa.
what season number was that?
3. So I was in Africa. I was the other one in Africa, and then you were in Africa.
You were in season 3?
And Ethan won.
Oh my God. I feel like you haven't
Legend.
even aged. And you fly around all the time. And like, how can you be getting enough sleep and still look like this?
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
You're also nuts though. Like these silly like Instagram. So much energy.
Sugar, this is about you.
She doesn't, Sugar,
So
she doesn't
how
like it
are
if you
they-
turn it around back on T-Bird.
Yeah,
but,
we're going to go
like,
back.
she's
So
amazing,
Sugar,
right, Rob?
how are
She
they?
is amazing.
I don't know what she makes, but not enough.
Well, let's not get carried away, Sugar. Okay.
Now maybe we do want to talk some more about this. Hold on, Sugar. So how? And we talked with Janet Carbon a few weeks ago, and she said she had a lot of PTSD for up to a year. So again, I was just wondering with what you went through, how Survivor was with you, and did you have a good experience with them helping you through it?
Here's the answer to that. I think I was a little bit, I don't know how I passed the psych test. That's why I always say I think they want us to, if you pass the psych test, you're not in the show. I think they don't want us to. Because I was very honest with my answers, and I don't know how they let me on it because I was not in a good place to begin with. Then after the aftermath of I was very, very popular. I was like super famous for like 10 minutes, and then and then back to the old grind of auditioning and everything, and it definitely didn't help at all. I was actually surprised when I did book stuff afterwards. Like, I did a few cool things afterwards, but it was still, I had already stopped. So I guess that second run was a blessing from God anyways. But yeah, I already probably had PTSD from earlier trauma, and then I did, and then had this. And so, I mean, I've come a long way, baby.
Sugar,
I'm feeling so great now, and I'm doing not doing, but I'm getting very into the metaphysical stuff. Like not hugging trees, but I should because I heard it helps. But
wow.
I've done a lot of stuff, and I don't want my life to be over just because I did all the cool shit that I thought I was going to do, and I did it. And then I realized I've already been doing this metaphysical stuff without realizing it. And now I am learning about it and understanding that this is like a real thing that other people do, and it's not just a bunch of hippies, although it is a bunch of hippies.
Can you talk about what you're doing?
Not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. What?
Can you talk a little bit more about what you're doing?
Oh, I'm not even, I mean, Poverty is doing like yoga, and that's basically a very big part of that, but I'm just learning about it and realizing that this is a thing that I already did, and everything I've ever wanted has come true. And now I'm understanding that maybe that was just me wanting it and living a good life and getting it.
You're manifesting.
I've been manifesting since I
Yes.
was a child. It's crazy. And now I'm understanding that there's a cool club that I can be part of. That too.
Sugar, do you think, this is what I'm curious about, do you think when you went back the second time on Heroes versus Villains, do you think what was so difficult was you were still grieving your father, your daddy, or you played way too soon coming off one season, throwing back in another one, or because you played with friends, not strangers?
None of them were my friends. I didn't know anybody but JT. JT is
Okay,
the
just
only
JT.
person who said they would take care of me and didn't. He was literally the person that said, "Oh," and I know why, and everybody else does too. That cares about it. Who gives a shit? Let's not talk about JT. I hate him.
All right, let me ask you this then.
Look at that. I don't hate him.
Because
I forgive him. I forgive him too.
So, Sugar, I thought I read that had you have stayed in the game longer on Heroes versus Villains,
oh, I would have all manned up with
some,
all the.
you had
Yeah.
some alliances, some pre-aligned alliances.
You did?
I mean,
For
no,
Heroes versus
not
Villains.
pre-game, not a pre-game alliance. I just know that if I had made it.
T-Bird knows all about pregame alliances too.
Oh no, I don't do that. I've never done that. I didn't do that. I didn't even realize that it was a thing until I saw it in front of my own eyes.
Mhm.
So you only knew JT.
Bob knows exactly know what I'm talking about. Like, don't you? You know who exactly I'm talking about? Whatever.
Who?
Nope.
There were pregame alliances in Heroes versus Villains.
Yes.
T-Bird, does that come across your research?
No,
That's probably not on the internet.
No,
Yeah.
I just remember.
Search the internet, T-Bird.
I just remember thinking or reading that Sugar, because she knew JT ahead of time, and again, blessing and a curse.
Well, I knew him, but I didn't really know him.
But when you go out there to such a difficult, challenging game like that, you probably gravitate to who you know or who you recognize, which obviously messed up your game. Wouldn't you say?
I was told by him that he would take care of me.
Right. Okay.
Before the thing. But I really should have gotten to know everybody closer and really just picked who I liked like I did the first time, because that worked out. And in the second Heroes and Villains, I just felt like Shark Chum, and I knew I was going to be an early out anyway, because once we saw who was on the other team, I was like, oh, cool. Most people I like are on the Villains team. And I don't know much about these people. And I guess I didn't I guess I didn't kiss Rupert's ass enough. And maybe if I had done that and I don't know.
Well, okay, so Sugar.
What I could have done, but I felt like I was physically stronger than a couple of people, and that I just wasn't on my game, and I thought I felt a little bit protected blindly by someone who said they were going to protect me, and I'll die. That'll be my dying breath. Just kidding. That's not the last thing I'm gonna think about. I'll be like, I love you, you know.
The actress in Sugar.
Play my song mix at my funeral.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. You were there the day that Jeff Probst announced that Survivor 50 was going to be returning players, right?
I was not there when he was there.
Oh, you were there. You were there that day. Okay.
Playing silly games with fans, and it was super fun. I was terrible at all the games. I was super hot and sweaty and dehydrated, and I was like, I should have prepped for this.
Okay.
I didn't realize they were going to be.
But you did hear the news that Jeff announced that night.
Yes, I heard it on Instagram, probably on Lauren's thing the next day.
Okay, so I guess first part of that, I'm sure T-Bird is curious to know, would you consider going back to Survivor?
To be definitely Shark Chum? No, thank you.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
People were probably curious.
I have to ask every guest.
Yeah,
But we do. But Sugar, that I would love to know, you went and you played right before in season 17, and then you come back very soon after that to play in Heroes versus Villains. Do you have advice for people who may have played in these last couple seasons that might not know what they're getting into for Survivor 50?
They're going to bring all the old school shit back, don't you, Rob?
I don't think that they're going to bring that many people back from the old school. Jeff is
from that question.
Why? That my question was geared more towards people that have played recently and are going to come back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you saying that you think 50 they're gonna bring back all the old school stuff and make the little babies play?
Oh, I don't think
That's
they're going to
what
do
you're
that. No, I think it's going to be the same as
Ooh,
what
they
they've been
should totally
doing.
do that. That's what they should do because everybody in the first old school are, you know,
Hmm.
older. And
Yeah.
More mature.
this is what they should do.
Veterans.
Let's you have their number, Rob. Contact them.
Yes. Okay. So,
Sugar,
Make them play old school Survivor and see how they fare.
Sugar,
mhm.
what do you think the theme should be for Survivor 50?
I'm sorry. I have not prepared. I didn't even
It's
think
okay.
of that
Yeah.
possible question. Well, if we're doing well, something to do with maybe what I just said. Like
Okay.
All right, Sugar, I want to ask you
let
this.
mama show you. Or
Sugar, when you were on Gabon,
that's
again,
the-
you spent a lot of time at the Sugar Shack. So I was curious. I know fruit was plentiful. How much weight did you lose
What?
on Gabon for 39 days? Do you know?
in our camps.
How much weight did you lose
Oh,
after the game?
13 and a half pounds, which was the 13 and a half pounds I'd already gained from drinking too much after being super sad that my dad passed. So when I came off, I looked exactly like I had normally. To me, it was never, you know, I was just like, oh, and then exactly as soon as I got off, I would go eat as much lobster and desserts and everything. And I was eating everybody else's leftovers. My friends were concerned. They were like, are you on drugs? And I was like, no, I've been starving. And I just want the rest of the dessert. I just ate so much. I gained it all back like that, like within a week and a half or 2 weeks.
I don't think I think that's pretty common. So Sugar, a really beautiful, beautiful part of the show was when they showed you, and I believe it's your sister Nadia. It's your sister Nadia that came out to visit
Rena?
you.
Rena, I'm gonna take some notes later after this.
So when you
Rena.
spread some of your dad's ashes in Africa,
Mhm.
that was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And I would imagine it was for you as well.
Yes, and then I had not thought about how we put it right there where we gather our water because everybody's too lazy to go to the stream. And you know, I think we all drank my dad.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't really going in that direction, and I'm
That's what
sure I don't
happened.
hit the bell
That's
accidentally.
what happened.
I
They
mean, that's
filmed
kind
us
of beautiful
right there where
also.
we gather
Yeah.
our water. Nobody's walking a mile to the stream to get the fresher water. And
So,
I don't think,
Sugar, was it your sister that was with you?
yeah, my sister Rena.
Rena, who's Nadia?
I have no
She was
idea.
on Survivor San Juan del Sur.
No, I mean, no.
T-Bird. That's Natalie's sister.
Okay. So Rena came out. Are you still close with Rena? With your sister?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to one of her daughter's weddings in September. We fly back. Louisiana. Louisiana. She's in Louisiana.
Okay. All right. And who do you still stay in touch with? Or if anybody on your seasons?
My season. A lot of people from many seasons, but
Yeah.
Bob, Susie, Maddie. I have talked with many other people from our season. Oh, and Jackie and Ace.
Oh.
I try and stay in touch with them on the other people online, but these are people I've had conversations
Yeah.
with.
What about beyond Gabon? Who are the Survivor people that you talk to most regularly?
Most regularly?
Yeah.
The most I talk to is probably Jackie and Bob.
Okay.
But I talk to them each every few months at least,
Mm-hmm.
Maddie came over last year.
Yeah. How
so-
is Maddie doing? I feel like Maddie is pretty off the grid.
Oh, he hates Survivor. Like, he has nothing to do with it. He got found in a Whole Foods by Lynn. So, like,
Yeah.
never, and he didn't grow into it like I did, like wanting to be a part of it or enjoying other people. And like he's
Hmm.
missing out a lot, I think. Um, but he's good. He's still working out and he does yoga classes. You can find him online.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah, like
sugar,
you could go take if you're in Malibu, you can go take his workout classes.
Okay.
and sugar, were you really drawn toward, of course, Maddie, because he felt like a brother to you, and then Bob, because he felt like a dad to you. So you were kind of torn with your relationship with both of them during the game, weren't you?
Yeah, completely. And I love them both immensely. And um I mean I was never physically like attracted to Maddie. Like I always thought of him as like a brother because he seemed younger than me. Even though we might have been the same age, but maybe he was younger. He just felt younger. And he was very California, so like we did connect in that way because like we have a lot of similar things that we like. But and Bob, I had lost my dad, so and he was the oldest. The thing is, from the get-go, Bob was like building things and teaching us how to do stuff. So of course he was the dad figure. And yeah, it was really hard because I really saw myself during the game. At the end of the game, I decided I wanted to be Bob and Maddie. And that's why I'm saying maybe I'm psychic, because I never wanted, and I love Susie, but I didn't want her to be the top three with us, even though I knew I'd lose to either of the guys. But I don't know, like I said, that was the only option because she won that challenge. So like I couldn't choose. And so we did the fire thing. And I think that was that was Gabon's choice or the fire's choice or God's choice or whatever. Like I knew that I couldn't vote for Manny just because I knew he'd already had $1 million before and it wasn't going to do much good with another million
He had
dollars.
$1 million?
Do you not know that Maddie's from a very rich like
No, I didn't know that.
family?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, yeah, his great grandfather is like a super huge, gigantic guy. He comes from money, and Bob had like three kids. So
Hmm.
I didn't want, and like and I was close. And Bob was on the other team. He wasn't like supposed to be.
Yeah.
And at that time, Maddie was the closest to me. That's why it was a betrayal. But I knew that Maddie probably would have just done something bad with that.
Hmm.
And Bob did great stuff with that and like, made like a yurt business and you can go do survivor challenges at his place sometimes. Like, he did a lot of fun and good thing, he had three kids to take care of. Maddie had no responsibilities and that would have given him even less. And so that's why I was like, I can't make this call, God.
Hey, Rob, this might be a good time for that clip.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Hey, you know this guy?
He looks familiar.
Hey, Sugar, we miss you. How's Bunky doing? They asked me to shoot you a little video. We haven't I don't think we've seen you for 4 or 5 years. Next time we're out visiting David in LA, we'll Redondo Beach. We'll give you a call, take you out to supper. Birdie, stop scratching and say hello to Sugar. So,
Oh,
Peg.
surprise.
Hey, Sugar, I'm right behind Bob.
Yeah, surprise Peggy.
Listening to what he's doing. But both Bob and I have a soft spot in our heart for you, and we think of you often. And hopefully, next time we get out to California, we'll see you. All my best.
Hey, love you, girl. Bye-bye now.
All right, there you go.
Well, you got it to happen.
Sugar, you should have rung your bell on that one. Hit your bell. It doesn't work.
Oh,
Oh, Sugar. What special people they are.
I love them. Oh,
What special people they are.
Bob and Peggy are the best, and I really do miss them. Like he is like a father, more kind of grandfather. Like they're the grandparents I really never had.
Yeah,
They're
they're
just-
super sweet.
I love them.
Yeah. And it when you see one, you see the
Oh,
other.
they made me
Yeah.
rob.
What'd you say, Sugar? Sugar, what'd you say?
Stop
Made her
laughing.
cry. It made her cry.
Made her cry.
Yeah. You know, Sugar, a lot of times people people love Gabon. People talk about it, people rewatch it, and are you aware that people just really connect with that season?
I do actually. I get a lot of messages, so I do know anybody who's lost someone and watched that season usually. Well, not everybody. I hope more than that. But like I get nice messages where they identified and it helped them, and maybe even at the time that they needed help. But which I really thank God for. That's really nice. Sorry. I'm super choked up right now. Yeah, I mean, it got a really bad rep for a long time.
Yeah, that's been like a
That's
nice
because
thing.
somebody came off of it being a real nasty person and kept being nasty for so long, and it kind of like it like put a little shadow on our little season there. But in the end, good wins, and it did come out. And people who watch that season actually do really appreciate it. Plus, it's such a weird season.
Well, yeah, it's a very unusual season for sure, and like it's goes like all over the place. It's very unpredictable in terms of like how it turned out. A lot of people were saying that this most recent season of Survivor was like similar to Gabon. Did you hear that at all?
I mean, yeah, I won this last season. Didn't you see?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, finally, I won. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah.
Sugar, somebody else that I think wants to say a little something to you. Rob. Cue it up, Rob.
Okay. Could use a little bit more warning
sorry,
than
Rob,
that, T-Bird. Okay.
Sorry, Rob.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
I don't
Sam,
want to
here,
forget.
mark
I've got
that.
so many other things.
I know
Sugar.
I know you do.
You know how I do it.
Okay, here. Let me just reset. And then I'm like, Bob, I could tell that was coming.
That was so. Oh.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. And
hey, Sugar, it's your girl, probably your worst frenemy, Crystal. Hopefully all is well. I hope all is well with you and your family. I see that your little girl is getting so big. You are still out here doing the thing, girl. I am following you and tracking you on social media. You keep doing big things. You take care, and we'll be in touch soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
all right, there you go.
You know what? I thought Crystal hated me.
No, she said frenemy.
I never thought of her as an enemy.
Sugar, I reached out to her and she immediately got back to me. Said, yes, I absolutely want to say something to Sugar.
Well, Crystal, I love you. She said some things on podcasts before that I was like, there she, like, I thought she would have my back. I mean, I probably do need a booger check right now, Crystal. I'm sorry.
Everything looks okay from this vantage point.
All right.
Sugar. So now I want to ask, I know you have, because you keep putting your arms up.
Oh,
You're, super.
my heart on my sleeve.
So your tattoos. So I think you had
I have a lot of
several tattoos before Survivor. Okay, right? So this is a Tina Wesson question. She wants us to ask, how many tattoos did you get, or if you got any, after Survivor representing Survivor?
I have a big one on my back, but I'm wearing a one-piece big bathing suit, so I can't really show you
Now,
right now.
were you going swimming today, or were you like in Survivor apparel?
I'm having two of my friends and their daughters, who are my daughter's best friends.
Yeah.
Most of them. So yes, and the reason that you don't hear Punky Jean is because she is bowling right now with one of my mom friends who offered.
Wow.
I said, "Will you guys want to come swimming later?" And she's like, "Yeah, we want to go bowling. You have that podcast." And I was like, "That's right. How did you remember that? Because I am terrible. I have like a wall calendar. I don't put things in my phone, and like, so glad T-Bird like messaged me, but I did. I was gonna remember." Yeah, so they're gone bowling because we're in a little bowling club thing. We like signed up for the
Yeah.
bowl.
All right, so
Um,
Sugar, come back to me. Come back to me. Your tattoo on your back.
oh,
Is it from is it a survivor tattoo? Oh, okay. All right. Hold up. Okay, there you go. Is it from Survivor?
well,
Can you
it
tell us?
is. Oh my God, I don't know if I could do like maybe we can take a break and like do it later. It's like well, originally I had before I was Sugar from Survivor, I was Sugar the 50s diner waitress, and my first husband, the one that convinced me to do the show, he did put sugar on my lower back before we realized it was called a tramp stamp. And then when that movie came out, I was like, no. Why? Because it says sugar and it just looks like I'm a stripper named Sugar, but I've never been a stripper. I played one in a movie, but but I've never been. I mean, then I was like, this is not the thing I want. So instead, now I have like a Sailor Jerry. It's a pirate pirate ship and a Sailor Jerry blonde girl topless. So I have tits on my back. Yeah, whatever.
And
Like
that's from Survivor?
she's not flipping off the bird.
Okay.
But I should have had that.
That would have been iconic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was your
but you know
ex
what? For the
a
kids,
tattoo
I'm
artist,
thinking
Sugar?
about putting coconuts on it.
Oh.
I'm thinking about it. My husband says no. Then you'll regret that. You'll be like, why did I ever put those coconuts on? You know, because like then it'll be iconic. If I make it to like 85 and great grandma has tits on her back still. Sweet. I like it.
T-Bird?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna jump off the tattoo, go over to Jeff Probst. Sugar, give me one word to describe Jeff Probst.
Go get her.
Oh.
Okay, go get
That's
her.
pretty good.
You guys saw his audition reel, right?
Mm-hmm.
His
Yeah.
what? His
I mean,
what?
I kind of like him more after seeing that. It
What reel was it, Sugar?
was like his audition reel of his like stuff he had hosted before to give to, Mark. And then what's happening here?
Sugar, do you think anybody could replace Jeff Probst?
When
When the time
I know
comes.
a few people I'd put in like, if they wanted us to give a name. No,
Okay.
no, when he dies, the show dies.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So another 50 years it is. Just
Yeah.
well, it'd be like 45. We could do it.
So who are some of the names you throw out there? If Probst didn't die, but just decided he was going to take some time off in Fiji.
I didn't mean to be dark.
You weren't dark.
Sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean that like that. You're not watching this. Well, Lauren Ashley Beck seems to be a fabulous host.
Oh.
Like she's
Wait.
kicking ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I love watching her. We all do. She's like I like her
Another
and-
go-getter.
I'm like, do these people sleep? Like wow, so much energy.
Yeah. She's
You
beautiful.
guys are giving us a lot, and we're not even paying for it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. I met her down here in Atlanta. She is a sweetheart
I was on TV recently.
and
Yes?
very talented.
Not.
What were
Was
you
that-
doing?
Do you know that show Clipped with Oda O'Neill and Jackie Weaver? And oh my God, he played the main. Well, not the main dude. And
Oh, the LA Clippers
Lawrence
show.
Fishburne? Oh, Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne? Yeah, Clipped. I get to play a Marilyn Monroe impersonator. Weird. It was like the strangest thing because after I came back, after years of not acting, then we had COVID, and then we had the strike. But right before the strike, at the very tail end of COVID, somehow I managed to book work. So
Mhm.
it was a
Sugar.
small part. They showed me a few times, but I real close up, too close up.
Sugar. So I see a lot of your stuff on Instagram. Well, I see all your stuff on Instagram, but I thought it was ironic that we're having you on. Marilyn Monroe's passing was what, August 5th? Just
Yeah,
a day or
she
two,
was worse
just
than the
a couple of
fifth.
days
Yeah,
ago. And I was so curious. I know you do a lot of parties and different things. Do you do more work impersonating Marilyn Monroe? Because that's what I think of you. I mean, you've got the look down completely. It's fabulous. So do you do more with that? And then I'm curious, what is the strangest, weirdest, oddest request you have done for somebody wanting a Marilyn Monroe impersonator to come in?
Well, I mean, I've been doing it since I was 17 professionally. My first impersonation was at 15 in like a school talent show. And then I've been doing it on and off in between TV work and like I thought I didn't never want to go back to Maryland, but like it's really good money, believe it or not. Like
Mhm.
I imagine
not
it is.
everybody makes the same amount of money. I don't, I'm not saying I overcharge because I charge my worth. So I make $300 to $500 an hour to do that. And it's not I don't do it maybe one, I do it like once a month. Usually, if I get lucky, I get to. But I also am sugar and don't pay my bills or anything. So daddy lets me keep that money.
Sugar. Do they
Daddy's
ask you,
7 months younger than me, people, and he's really gorgeous. So
Sugar, did they ask you to do the Marilyn Monroe singing happy birthday to the president? Have you
it's
gotten
like,
that request?
always, yeah. That's
Okay,
like,
can you give us, please? I mean, Rob, can you pay her $300 to $500 for this?
T-Bird,
Can you-
that
oh, he's not
Yeah.
paying. He can give it to you. You get it.
Okay,
wait, hold on.
Pay him.
it's gonna
You
be
pay
big
her.
stuff. What? Rob, you ready for
I
this?
didn't consent to any of this.
Can we get a
Okay, here we go.
hat? Is it the hat?
All right, we're ready. Go. Happy
But no,
birthday. You gonna do it?
No.
You gonna sing?
Whose birthday is it?
The president's. You're doing the personation.
Pamela? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my friend said I have a gig at the Roosevelt Saturday night. My friend said you should, do a video for a happy birthday, Mrs. President. And I was like, oh my God, I should.
So Kamala Harris has the same birthday as me.
What?
Yeah, October 20th.
Okay, hold on.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Hey, Sugar, guess who I have? Wait, don't you have the same birthday as Snoop Dogg?
Yes,
What?
that's true. Also,
Don't you, Rob?
Yeah,
Eddie's got the same birthday as
You
Snoop
do.
Dogg. A little competition there.
those are all famous October 20th birthdays.
Ah.
Yes.
Do
I
not distract
love
Sugar
Snoop
right
Dogg.
now. I
Yeah.
want to see her Marilyn Monroe
It's
impersonation.
Dustin
I really
Hoffman's
want to
birthday
see that
today.
guy.
Who's
Dustin Hoffman?
okay?
Dustin Hoffman has the same birthday as you?
No, Dustin
His birthday's
Hoffman's
today.
birthday is today.
Oh. Well, today is also like 8/8/2024, which is also a 8/8. It's supposed to be some special thing for everybody. But also today, since you mentioned Maryland's memorial the other day, because they do it every year, this fan club I'm in, Maryland Remembered, in case you guys are Maryland fans, go join it. So we do a memorial every year, and today is the actual day. August 8th is when she was buried,
Okay.
2
Okay.
days after her. Whatever.
I think it's kind of interesting that we're doing this interview on the 8th. How things come around. Hey, so do you know a lot about Marilyn Monroe, right?
I mean, not as much as a lot of people that I do know, and so
Right. All right, I just want to ask a couple of little trivia questions.
Oh,
you're
okay.
Yeah.
She's never done this
And then-
before.
And then I'm going to hopefully see if she'll do the impersonation of the birthday song. Okay, so the first thing is the subway dress. Okay, Sugar?
Yeah.
I'll just ask you, who purchased the subway dress? The first person to purchase a subway dress, let's see, about 9 years after Marilyn Monroe's death in 1971.
I am going to guess. Oh, I'm blanking on her name, even though she's doing working. Okay, Princess Leia's mother. I can't remember her name.
That's right. That's right. Debbie Reynolds.
Okay.
Debbie Reynolds.
Wow.
That's right. That's
Okay,
right.
we'll accept it.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
How much did she?
They're famous enough, so I don't have to say the name. I can just be like that.
All right,
Okay.
Sugar. How much did she purchase it for?
Oh, that's tough, T-Bird.
No, it's not. Sugar's got this. Remember,
I'm
it's
gonna
back.
say,
How much? It was back in 1971. Debbie Reynolds purchased it.
I'm gonna say, oh, I have a few numbers in my head. 32,000. I want to say 65,000.
You're not gonna believe this. $200.
Shut the
Oh,
fuck up.
$200. Now, after she sold it after that for I don't even know how much, but
Oh.
$200. Isn't that crazy?
it's an
I know,
investment. Yeah.
All right,
I actually do. I have Elizabeth Taylor and oh God, I have a few up there. I have like a 6 or 7 famous people's clothing, but they're not like special ones from certain from things. It's just like I do love Julian's auctions, and I do have a Betty White. That's the one I paid the most for, a Betty White jacket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gun jacket.
neat.
I'll wear it one day on like a carpet or something.
okay.
to one party.
All right, so this is my last Marilyn Monroe question, I think, because I was fascinated with her just because of all the stuff you've done with her and as her. How many hours did it take to film the subway scene, and how many takes did they have?
Well, they filmed it in LA. They actually filmed it on a soundstage in LA, but they did go to New York
Yes.
to do that in
Yes.
front of like a live crowd, which also very much upset Joe DiMaggio and was part of the downfall of their relationship. But I'm sure there were many factors involved. But well, they didn't have to film the scene in New York, so.
Well,
I mean, I think it took about 6 or 7 hours, but I don't think that they were actually, filming the whole time. It was
right. All right, it was at the corner of Lexington Avenue and 52nd Street in Manhattan. And if this is accurate, who knows? 3 hours with 14
probably
takes. 3 hours with 14 takes, which doesn't really seem like very many,
Oh,
actually. But anyway.
oh, and maybe they didn't include like the crowd gathering and then dissipating.
Exactly. Very true.
Yeah, that wasn't even a scene that they needed to film.
Yeah.
It's just like for fun. They had already done it. They redid it, and then it was mostly for publicity.
Sugar, do you feel like you should have been born in a different era, like the 50s? Don't you,
I used to think that, but now I'm just very happy that I am where I am, even though technology scares the crap out of me. And like, I am one of those old people that have seen, I mean, no offense to everybody, because we're not really old, but like seen, and then they said the same thing. The older people, when I was growing up, before we even had cell phones, they were saying the same thing. TV and, everything that came up during their time period. But wow, we're moving fast. It's a little scary. Like, especially how kids are on the internet and Instagram and stuff all the time. And like, they feel like they need that, the likes, or they need that love from people they don't even know. And then fame and these people, internet people, they're all fickle. It's like really not important to do that. Please focus your lives on the people that you love, what you want to do, who you are, and do that stuff. Don't focus on like likes or trying to, I've never done anything. When I was dating David Faustino, he asked me if I wanted him to buy me likes.
Wow.
Fans, and I said no. That's gross.
Wait, so you've worked with Ed O'Neill and David Faustino?
No. Oh yes, of course. But dated so many people I watched on TV growing up. But it was weird when I worked with Ed O'Neill. Oop, that was an accident. This happened because my hand was right. When I worked with Ed O'Neill, that was like, hey, I dated Dave, and like, and the one day that we really talked, the first time we really talked, It was while Christina Applegate was doing her star on
Yeah.
Hollywood Boulevard, and she's sick and everything, and so we talked about that, but he wasn't able to go because he was filming, and I was like, nah, they would have shot her out too, that. Whatever. So he was on set instead of there, but he would have liked to be there. It was
Yeah.
sad.
Sugar, I think this is a great place for us to stop. I love that your social media is so positive, so energetic, and like you said, I think there's a lot of negativity that comes out, but yours is certainly just the opposite. So,
Ditto.
so thank you for all that. Thank you so much for being with us. I've been wanting to talk to you for so long. I know you want to get to your pool party.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're not even back yet. I'm
Yeah,
good.
but
I will
no,
let them
Sugar.
sign me out.
I was so happy that you wanted to come on and talk with us. That T-Bird was saying like we should get Sugar. I'm like, I don't know if Sugar is going to want to talk and do an interview, and I'm so happy that you did.
You guys didn't even ask me about the things I didn't want to talk about, and so thank you.
Well,
I think and I.
yeah, but no, I'm really happy that you had a good experience, and that's really what we hope that these episodes are.
Right. I was very scared. I did say to her, I don't like doing podcasts. I mean, because I'm very truthful, and sometimes I'm too truthful, and it's weird to people.
Sugar, you're fascinating.
And I really don't want to be called weird lately. I'm out of that group. I loved it before. Now I don't like it. No more weird.
Okay.
This is the word. This is the phrase.
Yeah, you got
Sugar,
it.
this is
Because I'm definitely in the other group.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar, the word or the phrase that I have for you is you're beautifully eccentric.
Thank you. Oh, I do like it.
You are. You're beautifully eccentric. You're positive and do you want to tell us where? I know you're on social media and I know you do cameos. Do you want to tell
I do,
all your
rarely.
fans? Tell us where they can find you.
I'm Kiper. Oh wait, don't. That's my email. Never mind. Don't give that out. I'm at Sugar Kiper.
Okay.
Sugar
And you do cameos. And you do cameos, right?
I do cameos.
So people can find you for that. Hey, Sugar. Okay, so now give us a little closeout. Happy birthday to the president, Marilyn Monroe. Go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. President. Happy birthday to you.
Fantastic. Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sugar.
Thank you so much, Sugar.
Rob.
Yes.
I love
Love you too, Sugar.
you. Bye, T-Bird. I love you.
I love you, Sugar.
Bye.
We'll be in
Same
touch.
to you, but much love to you as well.
Thanks, Sugar.
Bye.
Usually we do the outro right after we record. So let's do the outro next, okay? All
Rob.
right. What?
Okay, are we recording right now?
Yes, you want to hear. All right, there you have it, Sugar Kiper. T-Bird, that was a very fun one.
Like I said, beautifully eccentric. She really
Yeah,
is.
well, I think what I really enjoy about Sugar is that she's gonna say what she's feeling, and you don't always get that in the reality TV world. Some people are gonna be, fake and phony, and that's not Sugar.
No, Sugar is not fake and phony at all. And for anybody not following Sugar on Instagram, her post and all of her things are so uplifting and just she's a really fun person. So I've been wanting to have her on for quite some time. So I hope all of her fans, which I know she's got a lot, will enjoy.
And we appreciate her being here and taking the chance to come on with us. I think it turned out great. All right, T-Bird. People can keep up with all of the Talking with T-Birds when you go to robswebsite.com/T-Bird-feed. What else is coming up for you besides Big Brother tonight?
Yeah, but I won't be able to watch Big Brother tonight.
Nobody spoiled T-Bird on Big Brother.
Yeah, don't spoil me on Big Brother tonight. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's got something to do with Tucker. I'm not sure. But wish me luck. I'm telling you, this has been the summer of this crazy summer travel, the IT glitch, Hurricane Little Debbie.
Yep.
It's making landfall, so get out of the summer and then Survivor next month.
I know. Coming up, T-Bird, we're a little less than a month away from Survivor 47, if you can believe it.
So when will the cast be introduced?
TBD.
Okay, TBD.
Okay.
So are you more busy? So then that's when you really pick up with being busy, right?
It'll be busy because we'll have a little overlap with Survivor and Big Brother for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Almost like a month. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be super busy.
Super busy, but look, this is the great pleasure of my career is to get to do this. So I'm not going to complain.
And job security.
Yes, appreciate that too.
And then one more thing I want to know: how does Taryn round the clock? Is he like watching live feeds round the clock? And how does he do all this?
Look, T-Bird, he's a robot. That's what they say.
He's a robot.
All right.
Well,
T-Bird, anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. We got some more good talking with T-Birds coming up this summer, so make sure you stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.